I'm Bill. I'm a level 1 BARD, and I just realized that even though I'm not a bowler, I think 3 harmonica players in a row is still a turkey. Right? Okay. So I spent a month reading the news, and I was sick every day for like a month and a half at the beginning of the year, and I couldn't figure out why. And then I did, and I wrote this song, and it's called "It Makes Me Sick." Everybody bitches, complains, and blames the government. When it's gone, they get pissed and says, "Dad, explain where it went." Bullshit's never ending, politicians spending inefficiently. And it's too rife with parasites to fight an autoimmune disease. Is it apathy, ignorance, or divisive rhetoric? Maybe just cognitive dissonance that makes our country sick. You don't need facts if you act with conviction, in breach of social contract to enrich your already rich friends. Recognizing lies disguised as free speech, but that's just blowing snot, it's not the actual disease. Even after pox heal, there'll be scabs left to pick. And I don't know how you feel, but this metaphor makes me sick. Corruption, greed on TV, and between ads for Big Pharma makes it hard for me to believe there's such thing as karma. Billionaires, they don't care, they just do what they please. Of course, that's just a symptom, not the source of this disease. Just because you're wealthy don't mean you gotta be a broken prick. Your influence, it ain't healthy, it's making people like me sick. Apologize, I'm sorry guys, I'm not trying to be mean, but folks are really dying, denying reliable vaccines. It's another entendre for a song. What's wrong in our communities? We pretend we're strong while we march along to the tune of communicable disease. It's worse than plague, it's accursed politics. So it's no surprise we can't buy eggs, and even our chickens are sick. Liberal's just a conservative who watches a different channel, while the jackass hacks on Newsmax call us all rabid animals. Side effect of suspect elections is imperfect sovereignty. All subjects of the same parties that infected us with this disease. Oh, I wish they'd all just sail away on their partisan ships. They already failed us when they made this country sick. Well, I'm pretty sure the only cure to the cancer in our nation is for society to mature, educate the next generations. You know, politics breeds hypocrites, so teach your kids to think critically. Literacy, the literal remedy to this systemic disease. No prescription, no solution, no treatment that can fix the court-corrupted constitution that makes our country sick. And it makes me sick. Thank you very much. So I wrote this song about the Constitution, and it's all true. So you can't, if you're mad, don't be mad at me. be mad at the people who did these things, okay? Yeah, or you can be mad at me too. I don't really care. It's all right. And I want, and it's so it goes like this. We the people, so it begins by people we met, just us rich white men. We deny the divine rights of kings and of our slaves, women, and other things. We declare republic claims sovereignty over this land of liberty and home of the free. But our Constitution didn't cover all the things we wanted it to, which is why, Bill, we wrote a bill of rights just for you. And the Fourth Amendment will say how vital probable causes, and the fifth one, that all persons are entitled to due process. When Plessy got fined by Jim Crow for riding in a train car while mulatto was sued, claimed it was discrimination. The court said no legal segregation. They opined it's fine despite many amendments. Separate but equal, like that makes sense. But it's no surprise the same court that sided against Dred Scott. Sanford had property rights and Dred and the others had belonged. But as the KKK may say, what's a few more burning process? Even though I know, even DC, Stevenson, he got due process. Think you have rights, but you'd be wrong. And despite that fact, I still wrote this song. If you break the rules and fail to obey, the state may take them all away. You got freedom of speech so you can be candid, but you better not take that right for granted. Cause if you say the wrong thing, they'll search and they'll seize your life, liberty, your property, and maybe even your feces. And you know when they come for your guns, those Second Amendment clauses won't be the ones to afford you with due process. Well, judges, they cite original intent to decide if you're right or it's the government. With Madison, Jefferson, how they be wise, they endorse the 3/5 compromise, and they each own more than 100 slaves. That's not how a freedom fighter behaves. Though they quoted John Locke, they ignored Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Were they enlightened? Well, I really don't think so. What they made's no work of art, but one in progress. Yet those enslavers, they gave us this concept of due process. So tell your senators, representatives, where the applause is. Object, protect, concept, due process. Tell the president it's time to cut his losses, and remind him that he swore an oath to give everyone due process. Courts, the last resort, they'll say what the law is. Of course, their historical records poor, giving everyone due process. Sorry, there's a lot of stuff in there that takes a while to unpack, but you can get your Google out later. Thank you, guys.